don't think about it that much, but put it on everything.
Ain't no stopping here, I promise. Man, I promise.
Good morning! I am so excited to show you what I eat in a day. I have been vegan for about 4 years, so I've kind of gotten it down as far as what works for me and what I need and when I should eat. And for me, that is 3 meals a day. And my sleeping schedule is kind of all over the place, but I always make sure I get 8 hours of sleep. And then when I wake up, I usually don't eat for like 2 hours after that, maybe 3 hours. But right now, I've been starting my days with celery juice and coffee. And then I have breakfast around like 12, lunch around 4, and dinner around like 8 or 9. And then sometimes I'll have like a post-dinner snack of fruit or something like that. We're gonna start with celery juice, which is my absolute favorite. I've been drinking it every morning and it's giving me so much energy. I started drinking it after listening to The Medical Medium. He is a doctor that talks about all the benefits of celery juice. It can aid in digestion, it helps your liver, it lowers cholesterol, it helps regulate your blood sugar. Oh, and one main thing is that it pulls heavy metals out of your system. And heavy metals are things that we accumulate just from living in a toxified environment like the United States. It's just like so many little things that you wouldn't think about, but over time, research has found that it's horrible for our body, and celery juice can literally bind to the heavy metals and pull them out. It's insane. Like, food is insane. Like, what? Y'all, I'm about to give you one of the best juicer tips ever. Fill this with a produce bag, because this is where like all the extra pulp like offshoots, and it's really fucking hard to clean at the end of the day. And one day I was doing it, my mom's like, Katie, just put a produce bag in there, and I was like, of course. So here's a little produce bag, bad for the environment, you know. So you just hook it up here, so got the juicer. I use a Breville juicer and I love it so much. I think about it like when I go to sleep and stuff, you know. One thing I love about my kitchen is that my stove is an electric stove and it kind of doubles as like a countertop, so I do mostly everything on my stove. So for celery, I always get the ones that are washed and ready to use, because if I get the stalks, I realize that it really like disincentivizes me to drink celery juice. It's best to use like 100% celery juice. That's like what gives you the most benefits, but I don't really like to do that because it tastes kind of gross. So I always add in like a little green apple, and then I do half a lemon. So that's about, I don't know, 6, 7 stalks. And these ones are pretty small. I love juicing. It makes me feel like so powerful. So let's go. Makes a lot of weird sounds, you know? One important thing about juice is to drink it really fast, because once you break the cell wall of vegetables or fruit, it starts oxidizing and losing nutrients. So I like to use a straw and I just kind of chug it. This is how I feel after celery juice. I'm also gonna make coffee because I like both. So I use my electric tea kettle to heat up the water, and then I use my French press with about 2 tablespoons of coffee in it. Y'all know how to make a French press, right? I don't know. Also, I'm gonna clean my juicer, which takes like a good 5 minutes. I like to have a little bit of sweetness in my coffee, but I always look at the sugar content, and this one's not bad. It's 3 grams of sugar, but a lot of times it can be like 15 grams of sugar, so just be careful with whatever creamer you get, but I like this one. I almost always drink the full thing, so this is just cup 1. Welcome to the first meal of the day. We are going to do oatmeal for breakfast. I have it almost every day. What is different about mine is that I use only a small amount of oats, and then at the end I'll add in vegan yogurt. I got the idea after going to Butcher's Daughter one time in New York, and they have an amazing dish that is very similar. And it's like the perfect amount of creaminess, and then it still has a good amount of oatmeal, so you get all your fiber. And then I'll add in a bunch of superfoods and just like spruce it up. I cook my oatmeal in my Instant Pot because I feel like it's so much easier and it makes it very fluffy. So what I do is I put water in the pot and then I put a little tray down and then I'll put a Pyrex bowl on top of the tray and that's where I put the oatmeal and the water and then I close it and I put it on for 4 minutes. So while that was cooking, the only thing I did was cut up my medjool dates. And it looks like this to start, but I just cut it into like 6 because they're very sweet, and I used 2. My mom is so cute. When I was moving to Austin, she got a bunch of mason jars and labeled them for me and gave me food so that I would have food when I first got to my apartment. So this is definitely one of those meals that doesn't like present well. I mean, it's literally just like gooiness, but it is really, really yummy tasting. For lunch, I'm gonna keep it very simple and just do a classic salad from Wheatsville. It's my local grocery store. They do an amazing homemade tofu and they just put a little bit of barbecue sauce on it and grill it. So it's a nice little addition. Tofu is one of my favorite sources of protein lately. I feel like my body's been taking it in really well. We're gonna start off with just a big bowl of mixed greens, and you can put a lot in here because I find that once you add other stuff, it really flattens it down. I'm gonna do a cashew tamari dressing. It's also from Wheatsville and it's very tasty. I like to get a very flavorful dressing. It's important not to use too much because it can easily make a dish less healthy. Shout out to Wheatsville for making the best tofu I've ever had, along with the best dressing I've ever had. They're such real ones. I'm gonna make some cauliflower tacos, and then I'll use quinoa that I already cooked and some sauteed onions, and I have this big bag of kale that I put literally in everything. My best friend Bella, by the way, gives me every single one of these tips. So like basically just anything I ever say, Bella told me, and then I'm telling you. So got this from Bella. I want the cauliflower to be cooked really well, but first I'm gonna steam it. I'm gonna use my Instant Pot and I'll put it for manual 0, which is like 0 minutes of steaming. And I'm going to release that right away, quick release, and I just add it to my Instant Pot in a steamer basket that has water underneath. And then I'll add it into the saute pan. For sauteing onions, I like to use coconut aminos. I don't like to use oil, I think it's too heavy. I like to use a lot of nutritional yeast in anything I'm cooking really, unless it's like a sweet flavor profile. But nutritional yeast is amazing because it gives you like a cheesy flavor, but it's literally just like made up like compounded yeast that has vitamins in it. It's crazy. Don't think about it that much, but put it on everything. I also always cook with flaxseed, and then I probably will do a little salt because I'm feeling crazy, cumin and onion powder. And literally growing up for so long, I always used to say cumin. I just kind of feel like the cauliflower's been in there long enough, so I'm gonna end it and release it. One thing about me is that I am incapable of cooking just one serving of food. I always cook enough for 2 people, maybe 3, so in case at any point you're like, that kind of looks like a lot, it is. You should be cooking your quinoa, but I already cooked mine, so I'm just gonna heat it up in the microwave a little bit, even though you shouldn't really use the microwave too much. You know, I'm not perfect, y'all. It's fine. It's fine. I like to add a lot of kale, so I literally will just do like so much, and then I'll cover it again so that it can really cook down. Possible, I usually pick gluten-free options, and these are a really great tortilla. I think they are tasty and light and also like durable. So this is the final product. We have nice warm tortillas. I always heat them up. And then I did quinoa with all of the ingredients on top and a lot of salsa. Also, I feel like everyone only ever plates 2 tacos, and I always want 3 tacos. So, 3 tacos. My one friend Will always says I start dancing when I'm eating. But yo, these are really good actually. Like normally I feel like I don't make that like crazy tasting food. These are so good. I feel like the grapes are just like a perfect way to end the day, and I feel amazing. I'm ready for bed. I think I'm actually gonna have a little lemon ginger tea as well. I hope you enjoyed what I eat in a day.
Ain't no stopping here, I promise. Man, I promise.